ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
A COVID-19 vaccine could soon be mandated for students and staff in the San Diego Unified School District. A meeting is getting underway now, the arguments being made from both sides. Plus, a new variant of COVID-19 has been detected in California. How it stacks up against the current vaccines.
And a new survey finds most California voters want recall reform. We're going to take an in-depth look at which proposals are most popular.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
Right now, dozens of community members are gathered outside of San Diego Unified District headquarters, rallying against a potential COVID-19 vaccination mandate. Good evening, I'm Lindsay Pena.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. Now, this comes as the school board gets ready to vote on the issue tonight. Our ABC 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is live in University Heights, where there's also a group there in favor of this mandate. Mimi.
Hi, Steve and Lindsay. And yeah, that group in support of the vaccine mandate is right over here, right behind me. This is right outside of district headquarters. And if we loop around and turn your attention this way, you could see that larger group that is opposing this mandate. This is all happening outside of district headquarters as this virtual board meeting gets underway right now.
We're expecting, a lot of public comment, pro and con.
While some are eager to put a vaccine mandate in place at San Diego Unified, others strongly oppose one.
I've seen the movement.
The school board will be hearing from many during its virtual board meeting Tuesday to consider requiring COVID-19 vaccinations for all eligible students and staff. The group Let Them Breathe has been vocal about its opposition and has started a new initiative called Let Them Choose. They say they're ready to move forward with legal action if a mandate is put in place.
We have a legal letter from our attorneys that's already been sent to San Diego Unified saying why we feel that a mandate would be unscientific and unlawful.
We anticipate, that there will be legal action and we'll, deal with that through the legal process.
School board president Richard Barrera says he supports the proposal requiring vaccinations. After hearing from a UCSD expert panel in favor of the mandate, the district will vote on whether to require all employees, contractors, and others working directly with students to be fully vaccinated by December 20th as a condition of employment.
Any staff that is yet to be vaccinated would be required to receive a first shot before the Thanksgiving break and a second shot before the winter break.
The other part of the proposal would require eligible students to be vaccinated as a condition of in-person learning once full FDA approval is granted for their age group. Right now, that includes those 16 and older. The deadline to be vaccinated would also be December 20th.
As the FDA moves to approve the vaccines for students 12 and older, then there would be a timeline, that would be triggered.
Now, according to the district, at least 57% of its students 12 and older are already fully vaccinated, while 64% have received at least one dose. Of course, we'll let you know the outcome of that board meeting here tonight. We're live in University Heights. Mimi Alcala, ABC 10 News.
If they approve it, we will be ready with our manufacturing to provide this new formulation of the vaccines. It's 1/3 of the dose that we are giving to the rest of the population.
Early this morning, Pfizer officially submitted its vaccine data for children ages 5 to 11. The company says in clinical trials, a lower dose of the vaccine appeared to be safe and effective. Kids who participated in the trial say they were excited to be part of it.
I feel good. I feel proud that I got into it.
I immediately wanted to do it so I can have more time with my friends without masks.
The FDA will now review Pfizer's data, and the CDC director says that we could see emergency use authorization for that age group in just a matter of weeks.
Scientists have their eye on a new COVID-19 variant. More than 2,000 cases of R1 have been confirmed since March. About 50 of those cases are here in California. ABC News Chief Medical Correspondent Jen Ashton joined us earlier on 10 News at 11. She says R1 has mutations that make it less vulnerable to vaccines.
As long as there are parts of the world where the virus is replicating, where people are not vaccinated, we will continue to see variants. And yes, you're 100% correct that the concern is that we will one day come face to face with a variant that our vaccines do not offer decent protection against.
Medical experts say the Delta variant is still the main concern, but R1 is being monitored closely. And here are the latest numbers on coronavirus in San Diego County. More than 600 new cases were reported and there were no new deaths. And you can follow any developments surrounding the pandemic by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
We are continuing to follow breaking news from Vista. That's where a sheriff deputy opened fire on a man. This happened on Kiva Lane near Vista High School. Our ABC 10 News reporter Rachel Bianco is joining us live with more on what we are learning at this hour. Rachel.
Hi, Steve. This is a neighborhood off of North Santa Fe. It is still completely blocked off and more investigators just got here. I just spoke with the sheriff's spokeswoman and she confirms that the man who was shot was awake and talking when he was taken to the hospital, but there's no update on his condition. She also confirms that he did have a knife on him when a deputy shot him. They thought he had a rifle, but it turned out to be a pellet rifle. Again, though, he was conscious when taken to the hospital. Kiva Lane off of North Santa Fe, still a crime scene hours after a sheriff's deputy shot a man. Monique Ramirez was in the garage with her children when she says she saw a suspicious man walking by.
This guy walked by and I thought, okay, well, he doesn't look too normal. I'm just going to keep an eye on him. And he was gone. And then a couple minutes later, there was a gentleman coming down the street running. And that's when he was chasing the gentleman, and I can hear my dad was telling me to go inside, to take the kids inside.
Ramirez says the man being chased had slashed the tires of a van parked nearby. She also says he was cutting himself. She says deputies chased him into a backyard. That's when she heard several shots.
When I heard the helicopter, they were stating the fact that he had some type of rifle and to crawl away from the rifle.
Deputies say it actually started at this nearby 7-Eleven. Someone called 911 around 12:30 saying they were being threatened by a guy with a weapon. It ended in this neighborhood across the street. The condition of the man shot is unknown. So again, deputies thought that the man had a rifle, but it turned out to be a pellet rifle. He was taken to the hospital. His condition right now is unknown. Also unclear how long this neighborhood will be shut down. Reporting live in Vista, Rachel Bianco, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Rachel. A new poll from UC San Diego shows both Democrats and Republicans are in favor of rewriting California's recall rules. ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl is going in depth to show us which proposals are most popular.
Thank you for rejecting this recall.
After the unsuccessful effort to oust Governor Newsom, a new UCSD Yankelovich Center survey finds 68% of Californians think the recall process needs changes.
All types of voters said that they would be open to major changes. So it's not just Democrats who are the most supportive of reform, but also independents and more Republicans.
Political science chair Thad Kauser oversaw the survey of about 2,800 registered voters.
It's true of people in every part of the state. It's true of every income group, every demographic group.
He says support for reform has gone up about 10 points since the last recall in 2003. But changing the recall process isn't easy. It would take an amendment to California's constitution.
The legislature would have to propose a constitutional amendment by at least a 2/3 vote in each of the two houses, but then it doesn't become law unless a majority of voters pass it at a general election, maybe as soon as November 2022.
The survey measured voter support for more than a half dozen potential reforms. To start a recall, it takes signatures, and California has one of the lowest thresholds in the country. 54% of respondents said they would support an amendment to raise the number of signatures to something like 20%. On the ballot itself, California and Colorado are the only states that decide recall and the replacement candidate on the same day. 49% of respondents said they would support separating the questions into two elections.
The idea behind separating those two races is they'd just be two distinct elections, and the governor could live or die on his or her own merits. And then after that recall decision is decided, then you could have a race that would welcome all comers.
Kauser says in the last election, high-profile Democrats didn't run out of fear of hurting Governor Newsom's chances. But by far, the most popular reform is to add language to the Constitution specifying when a recall is appropriate, like for corruption or criminal acts. Right now, California's constitution allows recall for any reason.
I think right now, voters on both sides are kind of saying, you know what, we really want to have this process to get rid of bad apples, but we're not sure that it should be open for any means at any time.
Other reforms were less popular, like the idea of automatically replacing a recalled governor with the lieutenant governor, something a half dozen states do. Even less popular, a reform designed to boost turnout numbers by delaying off-cycle recall elections until the next midterm or presidential election. 46% of respondents said they'd like a removal option sooner rather than later. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
One recall reform that doesn't need a constitutional amendment just passed the legislature. The bill would prevent recall canvassers from getting paid per signature. It's now on the governor's desk. And Governor Gavin Newsom has signed a bill that removes offensive and racist language from housing documents across California. As Team 10 first reported last week, racially restrictive covenants prohibited homeowners from selling or renting the property to members of a specific race, ethnic, or religious background. It was a legal form of segregation in the early to mid-1900s. Assembly Bill 1466, which was signed today, makes it easier for homeowners to remove a racial covenant from the deed of their home.
All right, turning now to our weather. Another cloudy day across San Diego County with temperatures trending below average. Enjoy it while it lasts, because our ABC 10 News meteorologist Angelica Campos says a warm-up is headed our way.
That's right, Steve. Today looking pretty good outside. We get to see some breaks in those clouds and some sunshine, but the clouds are quickly returning. 70 degrees right now in San Diego, and in Ramona it is a cool 69 degrees. Over the next couple of hours, we'll see those temperatures still fairly comfortable in the 60s into the evening, but of course you're going to need those jackets. In comparison to yesterday, it was about 5 degrees warmer. Yesterday we had a lot of 60s, today mostly 70s, but the trend is going to be warmer later this week. We could even see some 90s in our inland communities. We'll have a closer look at what to expect in your 7-day forecast.
Look forward to that, Angelica. Thank you. All right, jury deliberations will continue tomorrow for the sentencing phase of the man convicted of shooting and killing a San Diego police officer 5 years ago. Jesse Gomez was found guilty earlier this month of first-degree murder for the shooting death of Jonathan de Guzman. He was that 16-year veteran of the police department. Gomez could receive the death penalty or life in prison without the possibility of parole.
In less than 72 hours, the federal government will shut down unless Congress passes a funding bill. That's not the only deadline they're facing. The U.S. is also at risk of defaulting on its debt next month. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more from Washington.
Amid gridlock in Congress, time is running out to avert a government shutdown and U.S. debt crisis.
Keeping the government open and preventing default is vital to our country's future, and Democrats are going to make sure we do not lapse on either.
Without a funding agreement, the government will shut down at midnight Thursday. That could mean thousands of federal workers get furloughed, including 43% of Department of Health and Human Services staff.
Having services shut down, staffing cut in different agencies is not in the interest of addressing any crisis we face.
And Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen now says the government won't be able to pay its bills unless Congress raises the debt limit by October 18th. A scenario she calls catastrophic, as nearly 50 million Americans wouldn't receive Social Security payments.
It would be disastrous for the American economy, for global financial markets, and for millions of families and workers whose financial security would be jeopardized by delayed payments.
Republicans are standing firm, insisting Democrats must include a debt ceiling hike as part of their $3.5 trillion budget bill.
If Democrats want to use fast-track, party-line procedures to ram through trillions more in inflationary socialism, they'll have to use the same tools to handle the debt limit.
Democrats are still trying to iron out their differences over their budget bill, which includes funding for universal pre-K, paid maternity leave, free community college, and investments to fight climate change. Moderate Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema meeting with the president at the White House as they try to reach an agreement.
There's one more piece to this puzzle in Congress, and that's the roughly $1 trillion bipartisan infrastructure bill. It's on track for a final vote in the House on Thursday, but Senator Bernie Sanders is now urging progressives to block it until that broader budget bill is passed. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.